Hello you guys. I just want to do a quick video. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I did want to give you or spill a little bit of the tea on the makeup industry, or at least the things that I wish was told to me. So if this interests you, if you want to hear what I gotta say or my experiences, stay tuned. I'm sorry, I love root beer. While I'm spilling it, I gotta drink something. Going into this industry, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. There was nothing you told me that could discourage me. I mean, like, even if I saw this video of me speaking to myself, I'd probably been like, bet, I'm still gonna do it. So with that being said, this is why none of these events discourage me. One thing was, I learned very early on about how you need to have a contract. And the first way I learned it was I did a wedding. And it was, first of all, way more people than I should have agreed to. It was like 16 or 18 people. It was like a ridiculous amount of people, and I was like, oh, I can do it. So I had somebody come along with me who was completely inexperienced. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you some money. I just need you to help me along the way. But I charged them barely anything. I think it was like $20 a person, or like $30 a person, maybe 40, maybe. So I went, spent a lot of money on makeup just to prep for this. I traveled to them, and the first thing was time management messing with the money part. And at this time, I was slower doing makeup because I was not experienced and I didn't have my routine down like I do now. So with that being said, people were, you know, eating breakfast, lollygagging, and they were just like killing time, not knowing that we were on a time schedule. And me being brand new to it, I didn't know when to, you know, like, hey, you know, we need to get this thing going. A lot of the clients, their faces were not prepped as in wax lips and, you know, trim eyebrows. So dealing with the extra, with the clients not being, their faces not being, you know, maintenance, did make my job harder. So I spent all day, no break, and that was another thing. I didn't give myself any break, so I didn't eat. So I'm literally shaking, doing makeup. So I was very tasking, and to be honest, that was a really good learning experience, knowing my limits and knowing why people charge what they do for weddings, why the prices are usually more for a wedding, especially when you're doing a big party, because it's just more work, it's more prep, it's more money to prepare, it's just more. Another thing was shooting for a magazine. That was crazy because I didn't do no research going into it. I just heard magazine. So I went into it not thinking about, you know, contracts or nothing. I just wanted the exposure. But they offered to pay. Honestly, I'm glad they offered to pay, because I probably would have said, oh, I'll do it for free, not knowing how much work it was going to be. The shoot was about, took like, what, 4 or 5 days for us to finish the entire photo shoot, because it was multiple models doing multiple looks. And these are not professional models, so the photographer can't get the photograph in like 100 shots. He had to do like 500 shots a girl just so he can get the shot. And then one girl took her 2 days because she just couldn't shoot well at all. So it took him, I don't know how many photos for him to get his one shot for the magazine. And so that took forever. And then the last day, we still weren't paid yet. So all these days we're buying supplies and equipment. I say we as in the glam team. It's me, a hairstylist, and a stylist. So every day we're buying things, driving out. For me, I live in the country, it was in the city. So I'm driving out 40 minutes, an hour to these locations, and I'm spending 10 hours on location. Exposure was good. I I am thankful for that, but I did get got. I did get cheated on the payment because I think I just walked away with like $500, and I shot for what, 4 or 5 days, and I worked basically from like that afternoon till the next morning on 2 of the days. Like I went home like at 4 or 5 in the morning. It was like ridiculous. And that's another thing you have to know. A lot of people who are Instagram famous, a lot of celebrities, they'll go to you and they'll be like, I want you, and you just like and you don't think about why they're choosing you. You're not this, if this is your first time around, you're not well known. You know, they might like your work, but you know, they should be able to afford somebody who is like a Chanel representative, or you know, like you're thinking like, why would you want me? And then now I see like, yeah, probably 50%, or probably like, no, probably like 40% is my work, especially if they're like, well, no, probably 40% my work, and the other is because I'm not known and they want to use you because your work is decent enough for them to look good, but you're not well known enough for you to demand a good and fair price. So if you're looking to make this your business, your bread and butter, after a certain day, them type of transactions need to expire unless the client is on another caliber. So if I get a call from somebody who's on a reality show, I'm going to ask to be compensated. But now if I get a call from an actual celebrity, somebody who's doing movies, who's at least more well known, I'm not, whatever you need me to do. If Nicki Minaj calls me, I'm going. I will pay for my own plane ticket to do your makeup because she's on a different caliber. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to go by your business and what you feel like you're worth to that person. Because some people, they're well known. I don't have that many followers, but I know my work is good and I'm trying to make money at the end of the day, and I'm not looking for popularity, I'm looking for cash. I might say something different a year from now, who knows. But right now, the Insta fame is not, that's not what I'm doing. I just don't, no, I'm not gonna work for a shout out, not at this moment. I'm not gonna work for a shout out. Okay, if you feel like you have enough skill and experience to be able to tell people your secrets, or you know, all that kind of stuff, or if you feel like, you know, you're to the point to where, you know, you want to, you know, just do a little one-on-one crash course with somebody, you know. And that's one thing, because some people, they will try to take it. I find more people trying to take advantage of that aspect than anything else, because you're giving them a lot of knowledge. You're giving them a lot. I know me, I will give too much knowledge sometimes. Me saying like, I'm giving you more than what you paid for, basically. And I'll do one-on-one with girls, but you have to make it very black and white. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna go over, and then, or this is how long we're gonna have this session, and then you gotta cut it off. Because some people, they'll come in and then they'll bring somebody else because low-key they want to learn too. Oh, let me get a model in, you can practice on them. The model really low-key wants to get her makeup done for that night. So people are sucking up money from you. You're not even noticing it, but you just got to be aware and make things black and white. You know what you're covering. And if you start to notice that, don't be, you know, don't be afraid to say something. Like if they bring somebody, like, oh yeah, they're gonna have to pay too, because I am giving a class and they're sitting in on it, they're absorbing the knowledge. So if they're your ride, tell them to go to Dairy Queen if they're not gonna pay. But at the end of the day, you need to be compensated because you're doing the service. And if they want to bring their own model and then have you, the makeup artist, do a full face on them, you just did a full face on somebody who's gonna wear it out. So you just did free makeup and gave a class. And you know, it just goes by what the request is, and then you have to gauge it yourself to see, you know, if this is if this house is gonna benefit you. Behavior on photo shoots, that is interesting. I did some urban model photo shoots, and some of the photo shoots, it got to where now you're hindering my time. Y'all sitting here trying to party and drink and dance, and I'm just trying to hurry up and get this award so I can go home. So that's another thing that you can establish with your photographer and be like, look, how many looks? How long? I'm not staying for this long. Anything that will hinder your time is taking money out your pocket. Think about it that way. And then you know what? At the end of the day, you are your own boss. If you feel like that setting is not there for you and it's not worth the money, baby girl, click clack, click that caboodle up and go. Fold that chair up, click that table together and go. Because that's one thing that you have a right to do. If you feel like it's not productive to your time, it's not good business, it's not worth it, you don't like the attitude that they're giving you, you're feeling a little abused or taken advantage of, you have the right to refuse service. You honestly do. And then if they have a problem with it, you can write them a nice professional email. But only do it if whatever y'all initially agreed to is not being obligated. When y'all had a verbal contract, and you have to pay attention to your conversations before these inquiries, before y'all start doing business together. Pay attention to your conversations. That's why it's always good to communicate via text, because now you have a solid reference to go back to, or even better, an email. If you're not good at conflict resolution, don't get into it. Because if you wind up getting into a situation where you are finding yourself having to deal with somebody very difficult, you have to be able to reach inside your grown up chest and take out the most mature reaction you can get. Because you don't need to be with your makeup chair swinging and fighting people. That's not cute. Do that on your off day. But as soon as you put on that belt, you need to have in your mind that this is the most important job you're ever going to do in your life. Every time you step up to somebody or they sit in your chair, because you never know who that person is, who they know, what they can do for you, and how they might better your business. Because all you need is that one person. All you need is that one referral. So you always got to treat everybody with the utmost respect. And that's all I have to say about the subject. Just wanted to give y'all a little insight on some of the things, especially if you want to get into the beauty industry, some things that they're just not going to tell you, and I just wanted to share that with you. So if you like this video, thumbs it up, please. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and comment down below. And so until the next video, goodbye.